Good morning to all of you. You might have heard many presentations on how to crack civil services. It's different, and I would like to share with you at the outset as to how we are going to proceed further. First of all, I would like to tell you, how do the civil services take care of the holistic education, professional employment, and the purposeful life? Secondly, how do the civil services answer three vital questions and the decisions that a young man or woman should consider and take in life? This is another important component because you're all standing on the crossroads of life. Three vital decisions. The last presentation will be on what type of tool set, skill set, and mindset are needed for anyone to get into the most coveted civil services. So these are the three important areas where I would like to pay attention, like to present before you as to how they are linked with the civil services. First, let me start with the item that is called the meaningful education. We will start with. Why we call the present education is not meaningful. Almost 4 decades ago, an educationist, Howard Gardner was not happy with the type of education we have. And he said that there should be a change in the education system. He was an educationist. He was conferred with 29 PhDs, and he wrote around 29 books on as to how the child is to be molded. He said the present education system and the faculties which are available to a student are different. He said every child is endowed with many intelligences. He came with multiple intelligences. He said, we got the word that's called a logical brain. This logical brain, this is about the logic and mathematical, and you got the verbal and linguistic. These two are combined together, is known as the IQ. The IQ type of education is more famous, more known all over the world. In India, even today, we have been following the same. But what he said is, if you focus on the mathematical, logical, as well as the linguistic brain, you are confining the child to the left brain-oriented activity. But the child is bestowed with a lot of intelligences. What are those intelligences? He said, he got the intelligence called the people smart. People smart means he wants to have interaction, connection with the other people. He also said that he must understand the intelligence to the body. People think that the body is not intelligent. We think that the intelligence is located only in the brain. But if you take a dancer, a player, and all these people, they speak with what? They communicate with the body itself. You take a great dancer knows. Without applying the brain, unconsciously she does the same performance because of the bodily intelligence. You got the musical intelligence. That's very, very important for civil services. Most of the people, they don't add this musical aspect to the memory system. If you take our forefathers in the Vedas, you can take the Vedas or Trivedis or 4 Chaturvedis, and all these people, they mastered the Vedas. How are these people remember the huge text? Like Quran also is remembered by memory, and this memory is aided by music. So if you learn the musical way, you can easily remember any text. For example, you remember more songs than the text itself. Why do you remember the poems and songs easily when compared to text? The reason is the poems and the songs are aided by what? The music. That's why you remember it. So our brain is accustomed for memory by the music. And we remember by the pictures. For example, in the civil services, the mind mapping, the flow charts, all are very important. And if you know how to draw a picture, it's very easy to remember the pictures compared to the text. So, the picture. Finally, the self-smart means you have to think about your life. So, a time should be taken by you to withdraw yourself and think about how you are going to lead your life in the future. So, these are all different intelligences, which people call as, in a broader sense, are the multiple intelligences. For example, here, multiple intelligence you can see here. So, logical, linguistic, logical, visual and spatial. Visual and spatial means what? You are going to have the aesthetic aspect. The musical, I told you. Then this is what we call the bodily and kinesthetic intelligence. And this is what is known as interpersonal, between you and me. And this is about interpersonal. It is within you. And this is about the naturalistic. That means outside, the birds are there, the flora is there, the fauna is there. What is that we are understanding? So people will be very much interested to see the nature. So that is also intelligence. And you can see the existential intelligence. This is about the spiritual aspects. So this is the way a man is endowed with so many faculties, but today the education system is confining a child only for the logical and the linguistic intelligences. So this is one important area where he did a lot of research, and the entire world was awakened to see that a boy or a girl is endowed with these intelligences. But the education system is focusing on one or two, leaving the other things. But civil services are now catering to the other aspects. I will come back to that. Other important aspect, friends, is that in 1995, there was a commotion in the captains of industries. The reason was, here was an article published in a very prestigious magazine known as the Times. The Time published an article known as the EQ. What is this EQ? He is the person, his name is called Daniel Goleman. He wrote a book known as Emotional Intelligence. What exactly is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence, he talks about the energy system. It's nothing but the energy system, how you are going to utilize your energy systems. I will come back to this. What he observed is that the people who are hired at a higher levels, those people are unable to deliver goods. The reason is they are not able to understand how they have to put their energies in proper place. So you can see the emotional intelligence in 5 components. Now what exactly are the emotional intelligence? You are aware of your emotions. That is called the self-awareness. Then what do? Then you are going to regulate your emotions. That means when you are aware that you got the emotions, then you cannot leave them like that. You have always having the driver's seat, control the emotions. Then sometimes what happens, you are going to face a bigger challenge in your life where you have to motivate yourself and come out of that type of depressive state or discouraging state. Then you must also understand the emotions of others and work with them with empathy. That is what is known as the social awareness. And with the social skills, you can get things done. So these are the 5 important components which are very much needed to make yourself as an effective person. And what they observed is that most of the people are not aware of the emotional intelligence. They are aware of their IQs, but they are not aware of their EQs. That's why he said we must understand both IQ, that is called the left brain oriented, and EQ, called the right brain oriented. Now you can see here the self-awareness means ability to recognize one's emotions and their effects in the moment. If you don't control your emotions, if you are not aware of your emotions, then you cannot have the control over those things. So you have to control, ability to regulate the response to an emotion. That's very, very crucial. The third one is internal drive to achieve goals with a positive attitude. Everybody got a goal. For example, all of you have the goals for civil services. How can we get those things? 11 lakh people have been appearing for the civil services, but finally this year 685 people were selected. That means the intake is very little, very low compared to the people who are aspiring to become civil servants. Why? Do you mean to say all people are not denied of the opportunity? No. Though 11 lakh people, they got the wish to get into the civil services, but they have no will to enter into the civil services. Very few. They got the willpower. So that comes by what? Your motivation, your internal drive. The fifth one is ability to recognize others' emotions and their driving force. In order to get anything done, you cannot do it alone. You have to have a team, and you have to motivate the team and get things done. For example, in civil service also, it is not an isolated aspect. For example, Aspirant Study Circle here, we started with like-minded people, because one man cannot run the entire show. The entire subject is now elaborate, so one cannot do justice to the entire subject. And at the same time, you students also should have a team work. We are going to make you a teams. Okay, so the team building is very important, and you must know how to work with other people, because it's very, very tough to build a team. Right? So how to build the team is very crucial. And finally, that's called interpersonal skills, basically how you interact with others. So we have to get things done ultimately. So how we can do these things. So all the 5 important aspects, if you can apply, then you can have a highly professional employee. So ultimately, you want to become a highly professional employee, not only in the government, but in the private. Suppose if in the corporate also, everybody wants a professional, because a professional can deliver good, right goods. So this is another important observation. So we have taken 2. One thing is a holistic education and professional employment, these 2. Now we are going to see the third important aspect. Before we move on to the third, I would like to tell you what exactly is required for a good employee, and what are the things what Daniel Goleman has summed up as to what is important for a good employee. He said the single most important factor is not IQ, advanced degrees, technical expertise, but emotional intelligence. The single most important factor is not IQ, advanced degrees, technical expertise, but emotional intelligence. What is this? Self-awareness, self-confidence, self-control, commitment and integrity, the ability to communicate and influence. So these are very, very important things, and to initiate and accept change. These competencies are at a premium in today's job market. These competencies are at a premium in the job market. The higher up the ladder you go, the more vital these skills become, often influencing who is hired or fired, passed over or promoted. So these are very, very crucial. Even if you want to go to the corporate, there also you need to have emotional intelligence. When you come to the government, here also you need to have emotional intelligence. Even if you go for your personal business, there also you need to develop the emotional intelligence skills. Very, very crucial. Okay, so this is another important dimension you must always keep in mind as a young person, right? I would like to move on to the third. So we have talked about the holistic education, professional employment. Now I am coming to the purposeful living. So ultimately, this is a very, very crucial aspect, and this is being touched by another important personality, a great psychologist, Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow says that our needs are different. So he has come with a circle of needs. He said physiological needs, That means we need food, shelter, we need clothing. All these things come under the this called the physiological needs. So people are striving very hard for these needs in the villages or in the smaller places, in the slum areas. Okay, so these physiological needs are very much important for all the people. Then when your physiological needs are catered, then you go for the higher need called the safety and security. The safety and security, that means you want to have protection everywhere. So you go for a bigger house with surveillances, etc. So this is another need. Once this need is fulfilled, the third higher need comes, is called the love and belonging. So you need to have people with you. So you want to have people respect you. So you want to love and to be loved by other people. So once that is fulfilled, then you go a higher level, that is called the esteem. You want to have the self-respect and self-esteem, and you expect other people to respect you, are going to respect these people. So this is the higher need of the people. After fulfilling the self-esteem, you are going for a self-actualization need. So what exactly are these things? You can see the physiological: breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, etc. The safety called security of body, employment, resources, morality, the family, health, and property. Love and belonging, friendship, family, sexual intimacy, all these things come under the third aspect. Esteem, self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, respect by others. All these things are very much needed, because the needs, once one thing is fulfilled, you go for the second, third, fourth, like that. And this is more important. This is called the self-actualization. What is self-actualization? Morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudices, acceptance of facts. More than all these things, self-actualization means you want to live on your own terms. You want to lead your life on your own terms, and you want to fulfill your potential, and you want to fulfill your dreams. For example, some of the people who join civil services at the mid-career, they are going to make course corrections. They leave such jobs and go for where they are interested. For example, for me, I got a type of desire to become a teacher. But when we become the civil servants, we may not get the opportunity. But all through, I used to be in the teaching level because the training, or I used to take the personal development training courses for other people free of cost. So this way, I have been fulfilling, and after retirement, I jumped into teaching. So this is a very, very fascinating aspect for me. So to share my knowledge with others through writings and by teachings. So that's called self-actualization process. Is very, very crucial. At the fag end of the life, Abraham Maslow came with another important need. What is that need? This is a very, very important need, in my view. He said, you got the physiological needs, you got the safety and security needs, you got the love and belonging needs, then you got the esteem, self-esteem, then self-actualization. Now you go for the self-transcendence. This is a very, very vital need. What do we mean by self-transcendence? Here you are going to see the truth, the spirit, consciousness being unconditional love. In the sense, you are going to think about not only for you. Up to this level, you are thinking about you. You are elevating yourself from a lower level to the higher level. But now, in the sixth level, you are going to come out of yourself and you think about others. You think about the welfare of other people. Even if you are a very rich person, but you want to give the entire thing to the society. Like, Bill Gates has been giving through Melinda Gates Foundation. Warren Buffett, Ajim Premji, you got so many people who are sharing their properties with other people. They want to wipe out the tears from the cheeks of other people. That type of helping others is known as self-transcendence. This is a very, very important need. So the three important aspects what we have discussed are, number one is called In education, you need to have holistic education. In employment, professional employment. In the life should be purposeful. So meaningless lives you might have seen. Some of the people they live like animals, but there are very few people they want to make their life sublime, and they want to make a purposeful and meaningful contribution for the development of others. The three important aspects are very, very important. So friends, to sum up the three challenges, number one, unbalanced and lopsided education versus holistic education. This is number one, every child has to take care of, and parents should take care of. Number two, unprofessional employment versus professional employment. We may be having employees, but all are not professionals. All are not professionals. In fact, to become a professional, you need to have high commitment, high integrity. But you find most of the people are not professionals. We got a lot of doctors, lawyers, and civil servants. But how many are professionals? In my view, it is less than 3%. Less than 3%. So our concern is to how we can become a professional, whether it is a corporate, whether it is government or a business. Number three is purposeless living to purposeful living. So these are three important areas where everybody has to take care of, right? So UPSC. So the society has been thinking about all these things, but UPSC has contemplated as to how to fill the three needs. How to make education more holistic, how to make a professional employment, and how to make the life of the people as purposeful. From this purpose, the UPSC has seized the entire thing, and by 2011 to 2014, they have introduced many changes. You know, when we are preparing for the civil services, the schemes of things were entirely different. But today, the things are different. Okay, so the UPSC revamped the entire syllabus of the civil services so as to pick up candidates with multiple intelligences. You may not be consciously aware that it needs the student with multiple intelligences. Giving importance to EQ along with IQ. That's the reason in the ethics paper you might have seen one chapter is there on emotional intelligence. They want these things. Number three, preferring candidates who can make a difference in the lives of other people. So these are the three important aspects with the civil services now molded. Now what exactly is required for today? In order to enter into the civil services, you need to have multiple intelligences. You need to have EQ along with IQ. You need to make yourself as to how you are going to make a difference in the lives of other people. The first question, whenever you go for the personality test, maybe mock interviews or for the personality test in New Delhi, one question comes very often to all of you is that, why do you want to join civil services? Why do you want to become a civil servant? Now, what type of answer you are going to give? Suppose if you give an answer that it gives the power, prestige, high salary, maybe security, all these things. If you give such answer, that means you are a taker and you are a dependent on the civil services. That means you want to just ride on the hearts of civil services. Then you don't get marks for that, you don't get the service also. Now what exactly should be your answer? You are going to say, sir, I got XYZ with me. By entering the civil services, I want to give XYZ to the society. So I am a giver, not a taker. So that you have to say. So the most important aspect is, sir, I want to bring a change. I want to make a difference in the lives of so many people. I will show you some of the youngsters how they have been making a big difference in the lives of other people. So when you say this, people will be interested and they will give you good marks. So friends, remember, the UPS is interested for three important aspects. The people who got the multiple intelligences, the people who got the emotional intelligence along with IQ, The third is they must make a difference in the lives of other people. The three important aspects. If you have the three with you, yes, you are suitable for the civil services. This is the scheme of things. Gone are those days when people are picked up for their just IQ. No. Today, the UPSC has been making a larger, what I can say, parameters for picking up the students. So then you have to mold yourself accordingly. And here in Aspirants Study Circle, we want to make these changes so that you can fit into the requirement of the UPSC. We want to bring multiple intelligences into our curriculum. We will tell you how we are going to do this. Number two, we want to give more importance for EQ, emotional intelligence, along with IQ. Knowledge everywhere you get, but getting the skills on emotional intelligence is very tough. That we are going to tell you how you can develop these things. And more importantly, how you can make a big difference in the lives of other people. So we are going to give importance to the three important aspects, which the UPSC is now giving importance to pick up the candidates for the civil services. So this is the first thing which I would like to tell you before I go further. Okay? Now, friends, qualities of a civil servant. You may say, sir, how civil service is very much interested for these qualities. I said three important qualities are very much required for becoming a good civil servant. You may ask me a question, sir, tell me how the UPSC is interested for these three. Now I'm going to show you, from the horse mouth I'm going to tell you, the former UPSC chairman has said this quotation. You have to analyze very carefully. You have to analyze it very carefully so that you can understand and you can read and understand the mind of the UPSC. What he said is this. Firstly, an officer must be a gentleman. Who is a gentleman? He should possess good character qualities. He said good character qualities. He should have courage of conviction, intellectual and moral capabilities, leadership qualities, and capable of taking the right decisions at the right time. You see, all these are very, very important aspects. He gave importance to what? He gave importance to character qualities. Then he said, in the blue you can see here, he should have in-depth professional knowledge, self-thinking, good communication skills, analytical in his thinking, flexible and not rigid, must be able to inspire and motivate his colleagues and his subordinates. This comes by what? Comes by your knowledge, your skills, your attitude. Right? So there should be balance of judgment in decision making. In order to take a decision, because all bureaucrats, we work as bureaucrats, the work of a bureaucrat is to take a decision, wise decisions, right decisions at the right time. So how can we take these decisions? These decisions we can take by what? By having competence and good character. So these are the two important aspects what the chairman of the UPSC talks about. Okay, leadership, this is what matters most, whether in government or corporate. So wherever you go, you are being picked up for your leadership qualities. Friends, remember we got a big population, 140 crore population in India. But tell me, how many can be called worthy as leaders? There is a lot of dearth for the leadership in this country. Population, oh, we got a lot of population, huge population. But what is the number of the leaders? The leaders whom we can call the leaders. Okay, so the person who got the leadership qualities can be called the leader. But what are the qualities of leadership? So how leadership measured in civil services? Now leadership depends on two principles. What are they? One is called the competence. The other is called the character. So competence and character makes you, they make you the leader. So what exactly is competence and what is character? So Stephen R. Covey, my mentor, says that The entire world is dependent on trust. Trust comes by trustworthiness. Trustworthiness is consisting of two components. Number one is called competence. Number two is called character. So what exactly is competence? Competence can be termed from three terms. One is called the knowledge. Knowledge, it's not information, friends. Remember, it's not information. It's not the data, what you are getting here. Knowledge is different. So, as Vivekananda said, we got a lot of information. But where is the knowledge? So, the knowledge is very, very crucial. Knowledge is the classified information to suit a particular purpose. Okay? So, knowledge is to be acquired correctly. You find information available in the market, but in an institute like this, you are going to get the right knowledge. Then you will be taught the skills. That means knowledge is to be converted into what? The skills. The application of the knowledge can be called as a skill, and the skills are very much required. For example, while you go for the civil services, how much you know doesn't matter. But how much you produce in the examination as per the requirement, that matters. Unless you develop the skill, you cannot produce what is being asked in the civil services. The third is called the attitude. You must have the commitment and the attitude towards what we can say learning as well as the converting and more practice. You need to have a lot of practical understanding of the things. Okay, so that can be called as competence. But we got a lot of people who can be termed as the competent people. You might have seen most of the competent people who got the knowledge, skill, attitude. These people become very good at cheats. In the scams and the cyber crimes, you find a lot of people, highly knowledgeable people are doing all these things. There is no dearth for that. Entire police department has been working on such people in certain wings. Now, what is important for us today is the character. People may be competent, friends, but if there is no character, what is the use of competence? They're more dangerous. In the ethics paper, there is a question that knowledge without character, that's called character without knowledge is weak and useless. Character without knowledge is weak and useless. Character, that's called knowledge without character, is dangerous and dreadful. So what is more dreadful is not competence. You got the competence but no character, more dreadful, more dangerous to the society. That's why what is important is we need to develop the character. How can we say this person is a character-oriented person? We want to have a character-oriented person as a friend, as a spouse, as a brother, sister, whatever it may be. The capacity, we want a person with a character. Right? So, how can we say this person is a person with a character? Again, three important yardsticks. Number one is called integrity. A person, a character-oriented person should have integrity. What is integrity? Walk the talk. Doing the right thing when nobody is watching you is called integrity. That means you should walk your talk in the sense, whatever you say, you must do. Whatever you do, you must say. You should not be a hypocrite. You should have plain thinking process. That is called integrity. For a private person or to a government servant, integrity is the mother of all virtues. Mother of all virtues. Second is called the maturity. Maturity means what? Whom can we call a matured guy, matured person? A person who got courage of conviction. That means when you say and believe something, and you must stand on it. You must stand on it. That is called courage of conviction. Even if the entire world is against you, you have to do, and you must do what you say that you are going to do. That is called the courage of conviction. The second is called consideration. Consideration means you are going to take the views of other people. When you have the courage of conviction and the consideration towards others, you are emerging as the most matured person, highly matured person. The third important thing is known as the abundance mentality. Abundance mentality means you are going to invite the future with optimism. You're optimistic. Never think that, okay, oh, level like people are appearing, how can I get a job in civil services? No. You have the place. Even if you have only one service, that is yours. If you start with that, then you are going to get the job to yourself. So the three important elements, the integrity, the maturity, and abundance mentality. If you have the three, then you can say, I can say that you are a character-oriented person. So friends, remember, in order to emerge as a great leader, you need to have competence and you need to have character. So competence and character combined together is a trustworthiness. If you have these things, then you are a trustworthy person, and trustworthy person is going to bring trust in the society, and the trust is what is the binding bond among all the people. This is the most crucial aspect you must always remember. And civil services, they want to bring this trustworthiness, the character, the competence into the civil services. You see, in order to have the holistic education, in order to have the professional employment, in order to have a purposeful living, you need to have the trust with you. You must emerge as the trustworthy person. Trustworthiness means what? It's only competence and character. Okay, so the competence and character are tested by the UPSC through various stages of exams and personality tests. As I told you, civil services is very much interested to test your competence and character. So don't be misled by, okay, I can read a set of books and I can go and write the examination. But you may go and write, but you don't get the selection. That's why you need to have competence and character. So the competence and character are tested by the UPSC through various stages of examinations and personality tests. So we got the 3-level test. What are they? One is called the preliminary examination, mains examination, and the personality test. Not the interview. Always remember, it is not the interview. It is the personality test. That's very, very crucial. You have to understand this. Now, let me go for competence building. So, civil services, now first they give importance to the competence. Okay, so preliminary examination for plus certain prop papers of the mains, they are meant to understand your knowledge base. How knowledgeable you are, they want to test and they want to see. That's the reason they don't want to see your face. They go for objective evaluation, right? So that is to understand your knowledge base. And in the main papers also, certain papers like paper number 1, 2, 3, they are going to test a larger extent the knowledge base. But essay, social issues, then the ethics part, right? Then your option. In the option, what is important? Your passion and the personality test. All are relating to what? The character-oriented aspects. Now you can see the character development. You can see certain aspects of CSAT in the paper number 2, like decision-making, problem-solving, communication skills, reading comprehension, English language comprehension. All are relating to the character aspect. Then main papers, as I told you, paper number 1, essay, ethics, then social justice, and all these things come under this paper. And personality test is totally personality, character orientation. Now, in paper number 1, you can see these are the components, and these components are mostly on objective basis. Those who are getting around 95 to almost 100 bits right, they will be qualified for this. This is the syllabus for that, right? So this paper number 1, 200 marks. So if you can score 50%, you will get into mains. 50%. 55 safest. The paper number 2, you can see here, this is all qualifying in nature, but some of the people are missing in this bus because they take it very lightly, very, very crucial. You see here comprehension, interpersonal skills, including communication skills, logical reasoning, analytical ability, decision making, problem solving. Then you can see the general language comprehension skills all come under the character orientation. This come under the competence levels. So the UPSC is making competency and character simultaneously, both in the preliminary examination, mid examination, and the personality test. And you can see here paper number 2 of preliminary examination. So comprehension, these are all the components coming under the personality development. And in the scheme of the mains, you know pretty well that paper number 1, 2, there are Indian language qualifying, maybe Telugu or maybe Hindi, Urdu, any language you want to prefer. You have to take the test for qualifying in nature. Then English also qualifying in nature. These marks are not added for your ranking. But if you don't get the qualifying marks, your other papers will not be evaluated. Now here, paper essay, 250 marks, general studies 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you know the syllabus of these papers. We are going to give a booklet for this. And the option subject paper 1 and 2, all together 1750 marks plus personality test. So 275, it is 2025 marks. So these are the marks which fetch you the service. How many marks are needed in order to get into the civil service, and especially in the IAS? If we can score around 50%, what is 50%? That is 1020, maybe some 12. You will be in top 50. Top 50 safely. You understand? So to get into IAS, you need 50%. I think in your MA or maybe in your degree, you might have scored 70 or 80%. But here only 50%. But why people are not getting? All over India, people are competing for civil services. But those who get 50%, they are getting into the IAS. And those who are getting up to 48% or 47%, they are in services. That means you need to have proper understanding of the syllabus, and you must also have proper preparation. For that, an institute like ours, aspirants are going to give you the right direction to you as to how you have to mold yourself to score more than 50% marks. 50% marks. We'll tell you how we are going to do it in the third part of my presentation. Okay, so this is the structure of the mains. In the mains examination also, you can see here, essay paper, 2 types of essays are given. Of late, in 2021, you got only 1 type of essays. All are called opinion-based essays. People call them as philosophical essays. These essays you don't get in the market. These essays you have to prepare by yourself. From your understanding, observations, opinions, you have to formulate the essays and you write them so as to get very good marks. Right? So, essay paper is a character-oriented paper. They want to see that your character is being reflected in the essays. I will tell you more while we take up the essay preparation. So, normally you find issue-based and opinion-based. So, issue-based is competency and opinion-based talks about the character. Right? Then, GS paper number 1, you find here freedom struggle, modern India, world history, geography. This talks about competence. They're all competence. Okay, you have to remember a lot of data in an analytical way. But you find here the portion of history, culture, social issues, they're all character-oriented aspects. So in paper number 1 also, you got the competency to a larger extent and character to a certain extent. In the paper number 2, you find polity, constitution, political issues, etc. It talks about competency. Whereas in paper number 2, you got the social justice. That comes under what? Comes under character. In order to understand what is social justice, you need to have good character. Otherwise, you cannot understand the philosophy behind social justice. We are going to talk more about this. in the paper number 2, and discipline ethics to a larger extent. In paper number 3, mostly it's competency, economy, science and technology, disaster management, national security, etc. And you find a little scope for the character. So the paper number 4 is totally character orientation, called the ethics, values, attitude, aptitude, emotional intelligence. All case studies, this all totally oriented towards character. You need not to refer any book. You are the book. You are going to present yourself in the ethics paper. I will tell you how to bring more of you into the examination while I take the ethics paper. Right? So, paper number 2 is mostly the character-oriented paper. And mains relating to the competency. Okay, this is called paper just 4. As I told you, this is the thing. Then mains relating to the, option papers. In the option paper, they test your knowledge, skill, and attitude. Passion, depth, hence it is competence per character. So whichever paper you are going to take, for example, you want to take mathematics, you want to take sociology, you want to take literatures. Now what they are going to test you? Your passion, because it's an option. Option is given to you, you can select any paper. Unless you got the passion toward the subject, you cannot score marks. For example, you say that, X paper is giving so many marks, I will go for X. But the X, many of the people are failing. Why? Because they have no interest for that. So you must have the interest, passion towards the subject, then you can score more marks. That's why while selecting the paper that's called the paper, you must pay attention towards your passion and your interest in the subject. Not that it's giving more marks in the market. No, that's not the solution for this. There, it depends on your, again, character. Then interview, known as the personality test, totally is the character oriented, 275 marks within half an hour frame. They are going to assess you. In the case of preliminary examination, they don't want to see your face, only objective. In the main examination, they want to see your writing at least. It's a descriptive. In the personality test, they want nothing but your presence. Half an hour, they are going to assess you whether you are suitable to this post or not. They don't want to see your knowledge there. Knowledge is already tested. So they want to see your character in the personality test. Okay, so personality test again, what are the components? Emotional competence, balance of judgment, comprehensiveness, and decision making. These are the major issues which they want to see in the personality test. Right? Thus, the course for the civil services has become a great source for personality development and character building. Now, the syllabus prescribed by the UPSC for the civil services has emerged as the source for personality development and character building. So every parent and every child, student should think about civil service is not a job. Civil service is not a job. Civil service is a opportunity to bring holistic education, to understand the professional employment, and to make your life more purposeful. So this is the source, this is the course of civil services. Don't think that civil service is a job, I want to go for the job. You can go for any job, not civil services. That's the reason every parent should think about this. Because by joining the child, they are going to make the education of the child more holistic. They want to make the child more professional. They want to bring purpose into the life of the child. From this purpose, from this background, every candidate should join the civil services, and every parent should think about sending the child to the civil services. Civil service, the IAS, IPS are the byproducts. They are the byproducts. What is the main product for civil services? The main product is you. Your personality, your character is going to be taken into a new shape. Even if you don't get into the civil services, but the journey what you have undertaken for the civil services is going to make you a person who can live on his own terms. The person can live with confidence. The person can lead a beautiful, excellent, exalted life. So, preparation for the civil services is not only for the job. That's a byproduct. I can say byproduct. The main product is you. You are going to emerge as a great person. That is the reason why we advocate you people to come to the civil services. We people come here to start this institute with this main purpose. It's not to make you another XYZ who others are making here. We want to make you as a great personalities with ethical background. And we want to bring integrity into your personalities. We want to make you people to fight for the right cause. So this is the purpose of the Civil Service Institute here. So this is the first part which I would like to bring here. Okay, so that apart, there is another important dimension as to why every young man and woman should think about the civil services. So I told you 3 aspects. What are the 3 aspects? How to become a holistic student, how to become a professional employee. The third is called purposeful living, the 3. So apart from the 3, I'm going to make another important dimension where you have to think about civil services. What for? So there I'm going to talk about 3 major decisions you have to take in your life. What are the 3 major decisions a young man or a woman should take in their life? 3 are very, very vital. Okay, so to know why to join civil services is to know the answers to 3 vital questions of our life. Now, every young man or woman has to take 3 vital decisions when they are standing in the crossroads. What are the crossroads? When you are almost in a situation where to go, what is the direction you have to take? There you have to take 3 important decisions. Friends, and how do the civil services answer the 3 vital questions and the decisions that a young man or woman should consider and take in life? So this is another important area which I'm going to deal now. This is the second part of my presentation to you. I would like to bring a great gentleman. I got a lot of regard towards this person. I want to know at the outset whether you are aware of the name of this person. Any one of you? Are you aware of the name of this person? No. My opportunity to introduce to you. While I was in my intermediate, after completion of my intermediate, I joined the library. I was a late joiner for the library because I'm not aware such a beautiful place like libraries are existing. Nobody told us. So after completion of my 10th class, I joined the library. I went to the first time to the library. I found a new world. I thought, yes, I missed a lot up to my 10th class. Huge period was lost. Then I was a regular goer to the library and I started picking up books, collecting books. So whatever little amount is there, I want to purchase. So my levels at the time are very level because my parents are not that much, what I can say, rich, but they're ordinary people. So I used to get small pocket money. So I used to go to the old bookshops and purchase books for 25 paise, 50 paise, like that. While one day I went to a place where books were put virtually on the ground because people never care for old books. So I found a book very interesting there. I picked up the book. The book says, How to Win Friends and Influence People. The title is that. So I picked up the book and I went through and saw, wow, what a wonderful book it is. Because I want to have more friends. So I want to how I can get more friends. So I think from that limited purpose, but that's a bigger thing. Later I found that. Then I saw that he wrote some other books. I checked for other books in the library, but I found one book translated into Telugu. I read the Telugu book, but I was not happy. I want to have English version. So when I went to Visakhapatnam, then I immediately purchased the book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. I devoured the book. Fantastic. Okay, I will come back to this book. There is third book, which is also very, very interesting. That is called Public Speaking and Influencing People in Business. Another book. The first one talks about interpersonal relations. The second one talks about intrapersonal relations. That means you are going to work with yourself. Because in life we are going to face a lot of challenges. When you get a challenge, you need to handle it. Some people, they escape by committing suicides. That's what can they escapism. But you have to fight. You have to fight and win over the challenges. Now, how to do it? This book will tell you. Because I came from a village, no background. So I used to face a lot of challenges. But this book has given a lot of solution for my challenges. Right? So this book is about communication skills, how to interact with other people. 3 important areas it dealt. There are, of course, other books are there, but the 3 are very, very crucial books, I will tell you. But this book is very interesting, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. In that book, if you happen to purchase the book, see the chapter 29. And all books, they don't contain chapter 29. It's a very, very interesting chapter, very vital chapter for this book. In that chapter, he talks about 2 important aspects. He said 2 major decisions of your life. Every young man and woman should take 2 major decisions, what Dale Carnegie has said. I think you know the name of that person now. My mentor and I call him as my guru. So every day in the morning, along with my parents, I pay homage to my gurus. Is the first one because he led me from the darkness to the light. So Gautam Buddha, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Dr. Ambedkar, these are all great lights. So I treat him as one of my gurus. Okay, so in chapter 29, he said a beautiful word. What is that? Every young man and woman has to take a decision regarding how are you going to make a living. How are you going to make a living? He'd never say, how are you going to get a job? Not a job. He talks about living. You have to live. With your passion, you have to do the things. So the question is, how are you going to make a living is very, very important. Ultimately, you have to live, isn't it? Parents will take care of you up to your 25th year. After that, you have to take care of them. So livelihood is important. And livelihood with liveliness is very, very important. That's why Gautam Buddha in his Ashtangika Marga, how are you going to make a living? Gautam Buddha said in his Ashtangika Marga, Samyaka Jivanam. What is Samyaka Jivanam? That means whatever you are going to live, you have to live with rightness. Your livelihood should be with rightness, not like robbing some other person and living, or grabbing the blood and sweat of somebody else. No, you must convert your blood and sweat into the wealth, and you must enjoy it, and you must also give others to the enjoyment, for the enjoyment. So this is what is important. That's what Gautam Buddha said. Samyaka Jivanam, that's very, very crucial. How are you going to get the Samyaka Jivanam? Samyaka Jivanam is very, very crucial, and every young person should think about this. I'm going to show you here, there are 3 types of people. I'm giving here the poor, middle, and rich, not from the wealth point of view. I'm not talking about the poor people, not talking about the middle class people, I'm not talking about the rich people. I'm talking about the rich attitude, middle class attitude, and poor attitude. Class is different now. I'm now talking about the poor attitude people. They think about survival. How can I survive next moment, next week, next month? They think about what? They think about what? They think about other gossips, other people. You might have seen some young people here, or maybe one old hero is now going with another heroine. That thing is now occupying so much of the space, and people are talking about that. People talk about other people gossips. They will be more interested for the politicians, for the actors, for the real estate people like that. And they say what happened. Oh, do you know that happened with those people? They spend their time thinking about other people's stories, and they think about short term. The next day they forget, they go for something else. They never think properly on one important aspect. Come to the second class people called middle class mentality people. Those people think about comfort. Oh, I want a good house, I want a good car, I want big balance, I want a beautiful wife or maybe a husband. So my children, my house, the stuff-oriented people, they want comforts, they think about things, they watch things happen. That means whatever is happening, they watch, they don't participate. And they are thinking about midterm. Okay, 3 years, 4 years, that's the way how people think about things. But the rich-minded people, they think about freedom. Freedom means what? Freedom means you are going to live on your own terms. We call in the Constitution sovereignty. We are not being guided by anybody else. We are guided by our own policies. You must have freedom. That's why if you go to America, at Manhattan, you find the Statue of Liberty. Freedom, it stands for freedom. And in every revolution you find freedom, equality. That's called liberty, equality, and fraternity, where freedom is very, very important. So freedom, then they think about what? Ideas. They never think about the people, they never think about things. They think about ideas, because an idea will change your life. You agree with this? So ideas are going to change your life. So they think more about the ideas and they make things happen. They are not mere history readers. They are history makers. They want to make history. And they think about long term. 10 years, 20 years, where I want to stand. Not today or day before yesterday. So your view should always be, after 10 years, what should my position? After 20 years, where should I stand? That is what is known as a long term. If you want to have a greater say in your life, think about long term. That's very, very important. If you go for long term, then what is important? You need to have patience. Civil services give you 6 chances. If you happen to be OBC, you got 9 chances. For the SCs and STs, 17. You see, you got ample choices are available even today. What our Thirumal sir said, we used to have only 3 chances. 3 chances. Had we got one more chance, we might have emerged as IAS officers. But today you got every person in general category, you got 6 chances to become a civil servant. That's why patience is required. There are many people who got into the ultimatum by the last chance. You might have heard 24th ranker. We interviewed her. Her name is Sahitya, postpartum Sahitya, 24th ranker. She got into IAS and 24th rank on the last, they're called 6th chance. Listen to her interview. You will be motivated by how she fought to enter into the civil services. So patience is required. Patience is required. Number 2 called delay in gratification. Means what? So when you are very young, you may have so many impulses. Bodily, you may have some desires. But all things are to be kept under control, and you must always pay attention towards your goal, that is called civil services. Delay in gratification. Finally, value freedom over comfort. Your freedom is very, very important. So as civil servants, we never put our head down. Even to our bosses also, we used to tell what we want to do. That's it. We go by the Constitution, not by the dictums of any other officers. A civil servant is bound to go by the Constitution alone. Understand? So, you can have freedom. And freedom is very, very important. So, value freedom over comforts. So, they may transfer you. That's fine. You are not going to compromise your freedom of what? Your courage of conviction. That is very, very crucial. If you think like this, all things are available in the case of how can you value freedom with comfort? It is by entering into higher employment or higher services. Right? So when you go as a civil servant, you got the freedom to do it. People not today say that, okay, they're all under the control of the politicians, vagera, vagera. But I say, we also worked as bureaucrats. We got also a lot of pressures, but we never bent our head before anybody else. For the sake of what we say, the placements. Oh, I want to stay here, so I want to go by a chimcha of somebody else. No, we were transferred to any other place. We went there. But we stood by what? Our convictions. Freedom is more important. Our convictions are more important. So, it is by entering into the higher employment or higher services. That's very important. Okay, higher education and higher employment is the only way for the regeneration of scheduled castes. This is the quote given by Dr. Ambedkar. It is to motivate the people at the lower sections. But remember, this is applicable not only for the scheduled castes, applicable to each and every person. Higher education and higher employment. What is the higher employment? Civil services. Whether it is state services or central services, they're all civil services. Very, very important. You can retire at very high levels. You can influence people. Suppose if you join as a deputy collector today, you are going to retire as principal secretary, a very high post. Okay? So you got a very good chance to enter into a higher echelons of power. So central or the state, union or state, so these are the very, very important services. Friends, remember civil services, we know pretty well, all India services, Group A services, and Group B services, you are all aware of these things, so I'm not going to these are all central services. It's called, of course, IAS, IFS, and the IPS. These are all the central services. People call them as. There are many, many services available to you. So, Group B services are there. DANIX, PONDIX, like that. There are many other services. Whichever service you want to enter into, you can enter. You got the choice to select the choices. Right? I would like to tell you here, these are all my friends. Okay, so myself here, you can see Thirmal Sir here, and you can see here Sanjay, and we got the Devendra, they're all my friends. We're all in the civil services. Okay, so you find here our students who are appointed, who got selected into the civil services. So Devanathan is here, he is the Mr. Gokul, Ravichandran, he is Paulson, my student. You find here Kejriwal also. Yeah, so these are all different people. You can see very important aspects. At a very young age, you got the advantage of mingling with the higher echelons of the power. You can also go before the Prime Minister. So Prime Minister comes to you. So he's interacting with the young IAS officers at the training levels itself. You can start as a small post under secretary to almost cabinet secretary at the central, and you can find assistant secretary to almost the chief secretary at the state. So you got the opportunity of going to high levels when you enter into the civil services. You see, you got a lot of prestigious. It is a very prestigious occupation. Pay, perquisites, promotions, job security, higher social status, future career opportunities, then service even after retirement, visible symbols of power, and power adds or confers beauty, then high quality physical life, all are possible because this was given by the 4,000 civil servants who are interviewed And these are the things which they have advocated that you are going to gain by entering into the civil services. Okay, so you would like to have a great family for yourself. So second aspect, one thing is your living. The second thing about is your family is very important, right? So how can you have a great family for yourself? This is very, very crucial. And Dale Carnegie has come with a very important question here. He said, whom are you going to select to be the father or mother of your children? He never said, whom are you going to select as your partner? Did he say like that? No. He said, whom are you going to select to be the father or mother of your children? Very crucial thing is, when you take a person into your life as your spouse, you must always think about a generation. It's not mere attraction of the bodies or maybe impulses. You might have seen some of the people come together, marry, and within a short span of time, they go away from other persons. That is not marriage. Dale Carnegie said, you think about the generation, father or mother of children. That's very, very crucial. Right? So, whom are you going to select to be the father or mother of your children is a very important issue. I would like to ask you, have you made any attempt to see who is the best couple, which is the best couple in the world, so that you can emulate them? You also can become a part of that best couple, maybe company. Always think about this. You may be thinking about civil services, entering into civil services, then think, oh, I will think about marriage like that. No. Marriage is a very, very big chunk of the time you have to invest. It's not within 5 minutes. You might have seen that boy goes to girl's house, looks at the girl for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then he says, okay, then what? Marriage, finish. What do you know about the other person? Now you must think about this, because entire your life job is only for a few years. If you don't like this, you can go for some other job. But wife or husband, it's not for a few days. Think about this very, very important aspect. So, the best couple in the world, I made a big survey as to who are the best couple in the world. I will give you a couple of couples. So, I would like to know from you, who is the best couple, according to you? Okay. So before we take the best couple, there are 3 yardsticks you have to think about that, to select that. Okay. So I'm going to give the 3 yardsticks, then I will give the couple. First, I'm going to tell you the couple. This is the couple from Pune. You might have heard the names. Yeah, Jyotirao Phule and Savitribai Phule. Why I call them as the best couple, or the 3 important characteristics for judging the best couple is, so I will tell you here, this is a poem written by Phule, translated into, that's from Marathi, translated into Telugu also. And in this particular, he said, this is very, very important. That's very important. Vaduvu Varudu. That means wife and husband, when they are marrying. So he said a beautiful thing. The lady asks the gent, Nuventa manchivadavaina, however good you are, nanenta gauravistunna, however respect you give to me, Srijatanta Bannister nanu vedana nannu varudukunnadi. Every male thinks that lady is a slave to me. That is the way. Svecha Samata Atmagauram Pandalanna ma tapana. So we girls, we want to get what? Freedom, equality, and self-respect. Ma hakkula kandaga nilabadtanane pratinabonagalawa. Are you going to give the word that you are going to stand for our rights? So these are the words asked by the girl to the boy. Then the boy says, కులాల హద్దులు చెరిపేస్తూ స్త్రీలందరి హక్కులకే నీ పోరు సల్పుతా. By dismantling all the artificial barriers, I am going to fight for the rights of all women. మహిళలందరూ నా అక్క చెల్లెళ్ళు. All women are my sisters. నా హృదయం నీకే అంకితం. My heart is dedicated to you. కనురెప్పనే నేను కాపాడుకుంటా. I become a eye, lead to you, to protect you as my eye. నా బాధ్యత మరువను, ఎన్నటికీ మరువను. So I never forget my responsibility as a husband. So these are the words which the wife and husband has to give as a promise at the time of marriage, written by Pule. That's why I call him as a great person, because he lived like that. It's not that he wrote a poem and left it, but he lived like that, and the life is a great inspiration to so many people. There is a great poet in Telugu called Dasarathy. He wrote a beautiful poem, a beautiful song, his first song in fact. What is that song? నా కంటి పాపలో నిలిచిపోరా, నా కంటి పాపలో నిలిచిపోరా, నీ వెంట లోకాలు గెలువనీరా. Means what? How can we stay in my eyes? Because I look at you all the time, then you can stand in my eye. Then allow me to conquer the world along with you. This is what a girl wants. If you want to become a great husband, make it a point that you are going to make your wife as a winner along with you. Not keeping as a housewife at home. No, she must become a great person, emerge as a great person. Help her to emerge like that. This is very important. And this is the great, what I can say, the characters of the great couple. There are three important things I will tell you here. Number one is called intellectual compatibility. It is not like that you got PhD, I got PhD. No, that is not real education. You need to have common sense to understand the feelings of other people. Number two, you must have emotional compatibility. Emotional compatibility means you must have the type of understanding of the emotions of others, and also your emotions. You must work with emotions. Third, more important, value compatibility. Value compatibility is very important, friends. All the three are there with this couple that is called Jyotiba and Savitribai Phule. There's a lot to talk about. Read the biographies of these people, you will be interested to know. They are not only great social reformers and the fighters for the social restructuring, but the great couple. And their love is a great inspiration for this generation. But unfortunately, they think that these people from lower sections, we need not go for that. But they are beyond all these things, boundaries. They are universal people. So we have to understand the life of this great couple. Okay, I will come to another important couple from Europe, Karl Marx and Westphalen. In fact, she is elder to him. But the life of these people is great inspiration. In fact, he fought all the battles with the help of his wife. And this is also very inspirational story. Friends, remember, this is very crucial. For every man, life is only once. For every person, marriage is only once. You invite one person to life only once. You cannot invite twice or thrice. So to invite a person of such caliber and stature is very important. Marriage is not just like going and marrying somebody else. No, that's not marriage at all. It's almost a convenience. Marriage is taking place with the consent of both the people, and they are going to create a new generation, and they are going to create a great, what I can say, a role model. They emerge as role models. They want to create something which is going to be a great, what I can say, thing to emulate in their life. So friends, I will tell you here how civil service would enable you to build a great family. Very recently, 5th ranker, I think you know this lady. So married Nagarjun Gowda from Karnataka. She's from Bhopal, is from Karnataka state, got married. So you remember, to get a girl from such high stature, it's very, very difficult, very, very tough. But because they got into the civil services, they got the platform to have the interaction with that thing. So friends, remember, suppose from your batchmate is possible to get such qualified girl into your life or boy into your life. That's civil service enable you. Now, other important, wide choice even from the highest of your community. Recently, myself and my friend Thirumal, we went to one marriage. The boy, we interviewed the boy. The boy got married into a very big family, very respectable family. Imagine the boy is not selected for civil services. Can you imagine that he come nearer to this family or to this girl, highly qualified girl? Not possible. So, I will tell you, we get wide choice even from the highest of your own community, choice to select from other communities even, and the choice to select from other states. So this is a very, very important aspect which will definitely enable you to go for civil services. So I'm saying all these things because of so many I have seen in my life. I have seen so many people who got the type of good families because they are from civil services background, right? So third major decision, my mentor, Dale Carnegie, gave only two major decisions. One is, how are you going to make a living? Number two, whom are you going to select to be the father or mother of your children? I followed these two decisions religiously. I implemented in life. I got the results. I entered into the highest civil services. I got an excellent person as a partner, as the mother or father of my children. So, like that, she came into my life. So these two are fulfilled. But a Shishya should not stop at what Guru gives. You should add something else. So I added something else. So what is that? The third major decisions of your life. This is what I have added to what my Guru has given to me. This is by how are you going to make a life for yourself? How are you going to make a life for yourself? This is very, very crucial aspect. It's not enough that you are going to get a job. It's not enough that you are going to get a person into your life, but you must also make your life as a great example to lead, example for others to lead. Okay, so this is very, very crucial. And how civil service is going to help you? How are you going to make a life for yourself? Three aspects I'm going to share here. Number one, you can lay a purposeful foundation for yourself by entering civil services. You can make your parents feel proud by entering into civil services. Then you can make a difference in the lives of other people also by entering into civil services. How? I'm going to give examples here. How can you develop a great character for yourself? So, a question should be there in the mind of all the people. Who am I? Is not a question to be asked when you are a old person. Normally people say, oh, this question comes to philosophers like Ramana Maharshi or somebody else. But I say, this is a very simple question everybody has to ask when you are very young. Fortunately, when I was a very young person, I asked a question to myself. The question is this: if who am I is what I have, if what I have is lost, then who am I? Understood? If who am I is what I have, and what I have is lost, then who am I? So this is the question. I will give an example for this. You might have seen a movie called Attarintik Daredi. I think you might have seen this movie. In that movie, there is a character known as Brahmanandam. This fellow left India with 2 lakh rupees and he went to an African continent. So there he got some mines, diamond mines. And that fellow, when he came to India, he was throwing the lakhs of rupees just like that into bathtubs and other places. He says, oh, lakhs of rupees as tips. At the end of the movie, you might have seen that the diamond mines were nationalized. Ultimately, was left with 2 lakh rupees. And they ultimately becomes a assistant manager to a manager. You understand? So here, what do we understand by this thing? If who am I is what I have, today I got 100 crore rupees. Suppose if 100 crore rupees are lost, then who are you? Beggar. You think I'm a crorepati. If the all crores have lost, then who are you? So some people in the share market, I think you might have seen a movie called Satyamurthy, Son of Satyamurthy. In that movie, a very rich family, father died, and there was a crash in the share market. Then what happened? He was on the roads almost. But at the end of that thing, he says that, okay, this became 10 crore rupees. So the question here is, if you have something, that something is lost, then who are you? It's a very, very important question we have to ask ourselves. Fortunately, I asked this question when I was very young. So what made me to think is this: it is not what my father is going to give to me. It is not that what I am going to earn in the form of the money or etc. It is my character that's more important. Nobody is going to take away from my character, my education, my thinking, my ideology. These are very, very crucial aspects. So I have to think about how I can emerge as a great personality. This is what made me to think about all the time. So friends, this is very, very crucial. I'm going to introduce to you here, it's called Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was a Jewish person. You know pretty well, Hitler got a special love towards the Jewish people. So he killed more than 6 million people. 60 lakh people were killed by this person. And he belongs to the same race. His parents were killed, wife was killed. He was taken as a prisoner to the concentration camps where this man was asked to do the work in the daytime. In the night time, these German soldiers, they used to come and beat this person. Every day this is going on. One day this man was sleeping on the floor without clothes, naked, and he got a question. The question is this: am I the body or beyond the body? So they are coming and beating my body all the time. So am I the body or beyond the body? Suppose if I am beyond the body, why should I care for their beatings? So he thought that I am beyond my body. So next night, these people came, started beating this man. He stood like this, like a rock. He didn't show any emotions. The Germans were doubled their beating, but still no tears, no cries. Next day, these people came. The same thing happened. Third, they came, same thing. Then they thought, it's useless to beat this man. It's beating just like a pillar, so rock, so better not to. They stopped beating this man, and this man was released from the prison. And most of the press people came and asked, Mr. Frankl, it heard that you were beaten, but you stopped. You never cried for this thing. Then what made you to withstand such type of ordeal? Then said, okay, I remember, and I want to say something to the world. That is called, life had got a meaning. Life has got a meaning. I want to communicate this to the world. He wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. Beautiful book, Man's Search for Meaning. In that book, he asks a question. Beautiful question we have to ask ourselves. What is the question? He says, as the struggle for existence is subsided, the question that remains is survival for what? As the struggle for existence is subsided, the question that remains is survival for what? Today, people are not dying out lack of food. Today, because the nature of the governments, we're all welfare in nature, we are providing food. There are no deaths because of starvation today. Earlier they were, during the time of the Britishers, etc. But there is a bigger question. What is the bigger question? Ever more people have the means to live, but no meaning to live for. What do we understand by this question, please? What do you understand by this particular question? Ever more people have means to live, but no meaning to live for. It's very rich. We got a lot of wealth. Most of the people are very rich today. Ever more people have the means to live, but no meaning to live for. Why they are living? What is their ideology? What for they want to live? People are preferring convenience over convictions. So are you living for a particular purpose in your life? You will be remembered for that. If you earn billions of dollars by foul means, who cares for you? Who cares? People remember Mahatma Gandhi stood for values. Ambedkar stood for values. Teresa stood for values. Savitribai Phule stood for values. Nelson Mandela stood for values. Abraham Lincoln, Jawaharlal Nehru, or Shastri, Lal Bahadur Shastri, all these people stood for certain values. That's why we are remembering those people. So, ever more people have the means to live, but no meaning to live for. I will tell you, friends, civil services will provide you the means to live and meaning to live for. This is a service where you can be well off, and at the same time, you got the opportunity of serving others. So, you got the means to live and meaning to live for. This is a very, very important aspect I would like to share here. I would like to show you here Arnold Schwarzenegger. Once upon a time, a great name in Hollywood. He was the governor of California twice. When he was the governor, he went to a hotel, and the hotel people said, "You can come to my hotel, our hotel, any moment. A suit will be given to you, free of cost." But when he came out of the power, one day he went to the hotel and those people said, "No rooms at all. Forget about the suits. If you have money, pay, we'll provide. Otherwise, no." And this man slept outside and he shows some message. This is the way how people are going to be treated. Remember? So, if you stand for certain values, you will be respected. Otherwise, no. As long as you're a power, everybody comes to you. But once you come out of the power, as I told you, if who am I is what I have, and what I have is lost, then who am I? That's a very, very important question. Here also I would like to tell you Alfred Nobel. Alfred Nobel, you know pretty well, rich man. He was the inventor of dynamite. So, he was rich. One day he was reading a newspaper and he was shocked to see that his death was reported in the paper. It was written. He was furious to see the news, but curious to know what was written. It was written like this: Dynamite King died. Dynamite King died. He was the merchant of death. He was happy. Dynamite King died, very happy. He was the merchant of death means what? Very shameful thing on him because he's causing death for so many people. Is it the way how people are going to remember me when I die? No, that's not the thing. Then he asked the question, how can I reach out to the people? Then he sold a part of his estate, then started giving the prizes known as the Nobel Prizes. Today we feel honored if you get one prize. Remember, purpose is very, very important, friends. Okay, so what is the purpose of my life is a very important question everybody has to ask. That will come to you when you enter at the higher echelons of the civil services. Friends, we heard when you go for the civil services, the foundation course becomes the foundation to life. The foundation course given at the world-class training institutes like the Mussoorie or maybe Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Academy or in Simla, you find many, many great institutes who are started by government of India. to train the students. And there, the world-class trainers, they come to you, they will teach you a lot of inputs. They're very, very valuable. So these are different customs, and the IRS, our friend here worked as additional Director General in the IRS, that's called Direct Taxes of taxes in Nagpur. These are all different. So Railways Institute of Transport Management. So these are the great institutes where you will be trained, and the training will lay a foundation for your real life. It's not the foundation course, it is the foundation for your life. Okay, so how can you make your parents feel proud? The second aspect is, by entering the civil services, the most important thing is you can make your parents feel proud. Ultimately, what is that you are going to give to your parents? Parents gave birth to you. Then what is your role to play? You have to make your parents feel proud. How can you do it? I'm going to share here a great person here, Govind Jaiswal. Govind Jaiswal was from a poor family. His father was a rickshaw puller. And this boy studied his courses by borrowing books from his seniors. He's wearing the old clothes. And this one day he went to his father and told, "Father, I want to become an IAS officer." Then father didn't say anything. He sold away a small piece of land for 40,000 rupees and put the money in his hands. "Son, this is the money I can give to you. Go to Delhi, become an officer." These are the words. He went to Delhi, cleared his prelims, mains, and now for the interview. Then he wrote a letter to his parents. "I had very old clothes. With these clothes, I cannot go to the interview. That's called the personality test. I want some money." His sister at that time was pregnant. She saved 5,000 rupees for her pregnancy issues. Then she sent this money to his brother and said, "I'm sure that you are going to be selected as IAS officer. Don't bother about me. I can take care of myself." Okay? He went to the interview, got selected as IAS officer. And before the results to come, one thing happened. This is very important. One thing happened. So he was pulling the rickshaw, and one policeman came with a danda. And he chased him because in his view that he made a small mistake. And he came home and he felt very bad. What a policeman is chasing me. I ran like a thief. So he was almost in tears at the time. 2 days later, results came. Son got selected as IAS officer. The same policeman came to him with folded hands. "Sir, I'm very, very sorry. Don't tell your son. If you tell, then I'm going to lose my job." So he almost touched his feet. Then that was the moment. You see, because of my son, I got this type of feeling of what? Pride. You see here, the man who stood like with a lot of pride. You see, the same man, can you imagine? And you see here this man with what a pride he stood here. And he see here at this boy, now you can see, fully grown up with a lot of pride as an officer. You can see, who is this lady? IPS officer. IPS officer. You see here from a rickshaw puller to almost a IAS officer with IPS officer, a wife and a son. Good family. Pride, a success story to be understood. He made his parents feel proud. Friends, we can do it. We did it. Myself, my friend here, we did our parents feel proud because of our characters, because of our positions in the civil services. How can you make a difference in the lives of other people? The third aspect. You see, friends, here, who is this guy? Armstrong Parme. You heard the name? Armstrong Parme, this boy from Manipur. So he was working as a collector, requested the government to sanction money for construction of a road. The government said no money. Then what did he say? He never kept quiet. So he never kept quiet. So he raised funds from the public, from social platform. He constructed a road for 100 kilometers for the poor tribals. Became a big hero, miracle man. You can do a lot of things. You can make the difference in the lives of in a number of people. You can see here Sagayam from Tamil Nadu, a promoted IAS officer. High Court wanted to appoint a person with the most exemplary character to conduct an inquiry. At that time, they saw all the people, but they selected this man because he's a man who stood for ethical character, total ethical. What a great honor for an IAS officer. And you can see so many people, they are doing wonderful work, making a lot of differences in the lives of other people. You too can do it by entering into the civil services, friends. Another important aspect I will tell you here, you may be having a very good purpose in your life, but if your platform is very small, you cannot be seen by other people. Always remember there are two things. Low purpose means what? No meaning in your life. Just you float in the air. And the low platform means you are one among the crowd. If you are one among the crowd with no purpose at all, then you will be in a category, a quadrant called 1. Where low purpose, low platform, you are one among so many. 95% of the people come under this category. They're born, they leave the world without any significance. Another thing is called a low purpose but high platform. Sometimes people will be catapulted into the power structures. An ordinary guy become a minister or maybe MLA. So they don't know what to do, but their position is very high. They don't know what to do, right? So such people are to be pitied. And the third category, low platform or high purpose. People got very good purposes, but when the platform is very small, they cannot be reached to other people. But here the fourth is called high purpose and high platform. When you are standing at a very high pedestal, even your ordinary message will be heard by many people. Suppose if a minister comes here, then his presence will be felt by all the people come and sit here. Okay? Maybe in thousands, maybe in lakhs of people may come because his platform is very high, purpose may be very low. But if your purpose is very high, platform is very low, you will never be heard. Civil services will enable you to give the platform. Friends, remember, if you have a high purpose, then you are going to create a big difference in the lives of other people. So for that, you think about civil service as a platform, great platform to you. Okay, so what we have thought about is you are laying purposeful foundation for yourself by entering into the civil services. You are making your parents feel proud. You are making a difference in the lives of other people. So far, what we discussed is how are you going to make a living? Whom are you going to select as the father or mother of your children? And the third decision is, how are you going to make a life for yourself? Okay, so these are very, very crucial aspects where you are going to achieve all these things by entering into the civil services. So far we discussed out of the three important aspects. Number one is, how do the civil services take care of the holistic education, professional employment, and purposeful life? This we have answered by taking three important personalities. What are they? One is Howard Gardner. Second is Daniel Goleman. The third is Abraham Maslow. Then we have discussed the three. How do the civil service answer three vital questions and the decisions that you young men or women should take care in life? So we have taken three questions here. Okay, now we go to the third part of my presentation. What is the third part? How to get into the coveted civil services. How can you get into? Is it easy? When these things are catering and giving so much to you, there are many people are in the queue to appear, compete with you. Then how you can withstand the competition and emerge as victors, winners? This is very, very important. What you must do? We will give from our own experiences. Because we were civil servants and we know how to enter into the civil services, and we have also understood the changing circumstances, and I'm going to share with you what you have to do to get into the civil services, and this institute is going to implement them in toto. Whatever we are talking and what we are discussing here, we are going to implement in letter and spirit. Okay, so I will start with my mentor. Is Stephen R. Covey, you know the name, Stephen R. Covey. So he wrote the book called The 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People. I had the fortune to meet him twice and got his teachings. So once, he came to India 4 times. I met him twice. So I met him in Mumbai once, another time in Hyderabad. He says a very important aspect. What he said is this: to get success in any field, we need to have 3. It may be your civil services, it may be your business, or maybe anything. You need 3 important aspects to succeed in your life. Number 1 is called the tool set, the skill set, and the mindset. The 3 are very, very crucial to enter into the civil services. If you want to enter into the civil services, 3 are very, very crucial. Now I'm going to share with you what is the tool set, skill set, and mindset. Let me start with the first one called the tool set. You know, this is a very, very interesting aspect. This is called pole vault. That means they want to jump at a high level. For that, what they need is the weapon. That's called the tool. That tool is this. Earlier, they used to have the bamboo as the stick. Later, they used to go for different sticks. But what happened is, with a stick, his height comes very low. Then they thought about changing the tool. Now, what they did, instead of having a stiff stick, they want to have a flexible pipe. Flexible pipe. So if you can see here, in the flexible pipe, you can put this, and this person can go over the bar. He can go much higher than by going by only bamboo stick. So you find here, from bamboo stick to a very flexible fiber glass tool, they made their height to go up. This is what is the change in the tools. You might have heard about the typewriters. Did you see a typewriter now? No. You don't find a typewriter today. You find only word processors or the computers or these type of things. But when we entered the civil services, our orders were passed, they were typed on the type machines. But our forefathers never saw the type machine, they used to write. And earlier you got the scribes to write everything. You heard this? You see, tools are being changed. While we have the wars with what? The sticks and the stones and the bows and the arrows. Today, can you go to the war with the sticks and bows and arrows? No, you go with a lot of ammunitions. Now, advanced technologies. This is called a change of tools, friends. Remember, the tools are very, very important for winning a battle. I'm from the defense side, so I know how the weapons got changed over a period of time. You must also understand today the tools are being changed for the civil services. What are the tools? I'm going to give 8 important tools. Here is the knowledge. First is called the knowledge is the tool. You see here, the knowledge, when we talk about, take about this as knowledge, the information and facts gained through education, time, and experience. This is the general meaning of the word called knowledge. But you can see here the knowledge in 4 stages. First of all, you got the data. Data is the raw material which you collect from the type of service conducted, and the raw data is what is known as the data which is available everywhere. But you can make heads and tails. You doesn't make head and tail over the data which you collect. So data is processed into information. Data is processed to information, and information is of no use unless you know the purpose of a bit of information. All information is of no use. But this information is processed into a type of presentable form that's called the knowledge. So what is available in the market is either information or data. Knowledge is very little. So you find lots of materials which are thrown on the platforms or books, vagera vagera, and we are purchasing. But all things are not useful. You can purchase a small book and go for civil services if that is useful. But you have to get the gold out of the mud. So the mud is called the information, gold is the knowledge. When you get the good knowledge, then that will be converted into wisdom. That's a higher state. So friends, remember, what we want to provide in our institute is the knowledge. Correct knowledge for the civil services. We don't want to dump with a lot of information. We don't advocate that you purchase all the books in the market available. So we give you that information in the classes and the material form also. That is very, very useful for you to clear your civil services. That's the number one tool. Now, number two, optional subject. We are going to introduce to you here good optional subjects. Optional subjects are very, very crucial for you to get into the civil services. Now, here there are a list of subjects which are available to you, but we are going to introduce a few optional subjects. Gradually, we are going to increase the optional subjects. Now, friends, I will tell you here, Nandini, she took Kannada literature and she stood first 2016 as number one. She scored 331 marks in the Kannada literature. That is the scope of literatures. So people think about mathematics, that's called anthropology, sociology, geography, public administration. So literature's got a very wide scope. Apart from other things, we don't say that you take this only, no, but we would like to give a scope for you. We are going to organize the seminars for different subjects. Okay, so you can select any of the subject which we are going to introduce here, but optional subject is going to play a very crucial role in selection of the civil services. Now I'm going to show you here Achit Virendra Chandak. Now you can see the marks of this person. You see, essay, what are the marks? 163. Very, very high marks. And in general studies paper, 110, 86, 114, 100, very reasonable. You take all the toppers, they will be almost nearer to here only. 400, any paper number 1, 2, 3, 4, if you can score 400 to 440, that's the very good mark. But unfortunately, you can see here this boy lost in optional subject, 219. And you can see here in the personality test, he got 182, excellent marks. He got excellent marks except in optional subject. As a result, not recommended. He got excellent marks in essay 163, in general studies 410, in personality test 182, but in optional subject 219. Had he got 250, he might have got a very good rank. You know how important option is? I'm going to show you one more personality here. This is by Lakshmi. She got in essay 119. You see 163, the boy got 163 here, she got 119. In general studies, that boy got 410, but she got 402. In personality test, she got 157, that boy got 182. Everywhere that boy got more. But in option subject, she got 362, whereas that boy got 119. He lost his service in option subject. So friends, don't take option subject lightly. That is going to play a crucial role in your success. She got 45th rank, got into IAS, Because of what? Option subject alone. Understand? So option is very, very crucial. That's why we want to make option subject very strong. We want to make you to get to 280 to 300. We don't promise 350s or 400s. We are very, very optimistic. We are very, very practical. We want to make you to get into 280 to 300. That's the range of marks we can guarantee. As far as my subject is concerned, and I also can give guarantee on behalf of others also that they are going to put their efforts to bring very good marks to you also. Okay, the third, standard material. The third tool which is required for you is called the standard material. The material which you have to consult for getting your competence levels. So friends, remember, material is available everywhere. So, but selection of the material is very, very important. So what we are going to do, that we are going to give the good material and also refer to you the good sources. Number 4 is called information tools. Today, the information which is available is not enough. You must go for more of different sources where the material is available. Okay, so information tools, you have to collect these things from different sources. Will tell you the sources where you can get the concerned material. For example, for essay, what are the sources? For ethics, what are the sources? For history, what are the sources? We are going to guide you where you have to put your energies and your limited time for effective use. Okay, then number 5, language. Very important component for you to learn and enter into the civil service is the language. Friends, remember, language makes a big difference. When you go for interaction with anybody, communication skills are important. The type of language you are going to use, that makes you or breaks you. The written skills are very important. The oral skills are very important. And we want to make you people to acquire good English. See, we came from villages. I came from a village. My parents are illiterates. But my English is far better than the English of anybody. Why? Because I put a lot of effort to learn my English. I did my post-graduation in communication language. That's called the post-graduation in effective communication. Okay, so you have to understand how to pronounce the words, how to give the accent while you go for oral languages, communication. And you must also know the correct grammar while you are going to write in the examination. So we are going to give special stress and special importance and language learning in our institute. You may be coming from the villages or you may be from the middle class families, but we want to see that your language is going to take a beautiful shape as good communicators, both orally and in written form also. Number 6 is called friend circle. So this institute is going to create a circle of friends here, and you are going to have very nice circles. You can select yourself, or you can select from anywhere. No compulsion at all. But friend circle is very, very important, and this circle is institute is going to provide the opportunity. You see, this is wonderful to have a good circle of friends. Why is this very important? Important because it is going to create a type of synergy. And with limited resources, you can create more with less number of your time. I will tell you here, in CLAT, there are 3 friends. They work together. And you see here, these 3 boys, Mr. Aman Garg, Devans Kaushik, Anmol Gupta, all the 3 are roommates. And they got first rank, second rank, third rank respectively, because they all work together. Revu Muchala Raju, you heard the name, topper from AP. So this boy also worked with his roommates. All the 3 of his roommates, they got into civil services. So the people working together is very important, because the team building is very important that we are going to make. to you to have good teams here to get into the civil services. Number 7, institute. Always remember, you must take care to select the institute where you want to join. The reason is, it is not a commercial institute. You must always remember why the institute is existing. Is it the credible people or the people who just come and boast that they are producing so many ranks? We never say that we are producing ranks, though we produce so many ranks this year itself. In fact, in 2 institutes, I'm there in the panel of the civil services. We got more than 58 people got selected for the civil service in the various categories. But we never put the names of the photos here that we have produced this many. Because the credit goes to the students. We just give some small guidance. For that, we don't claim the credit that we have produced these many. So friends, remember, institute should have the attitude of molding the student to suit him to the civil services. That we are going to create through the aspirants. Okay, so this is a very wonderful thing we are going to create in the future. Within a span of maybe 2-3 years, you'll find it's a very bigger role to play in India. Then another importance is called the mentor. What are the importance of the mentors? Mentor is going to take care of you. Mentor is going to take care of you. He's going to protect you like this, like LIC. So we would like to put the retired civil servants who are committed for the cause of others, who are the toppers in the services. They are now associating as the advisory board in our institute. They are going to become your mentors. You can call him. We are going to allot mentors to you. You can call those people. You can get anything done as far as the subject is concerned. They are going to provide you all sorts of guidance to you. Right? So, what we have, think about this first thing called the tools, the knowledge, the optional subject, standard material, information tools, then language, friend circle, institute, mentor. So these are the tools. And this is what we are going to do for you in this particular institute. Now I'm going to take the second part that is called skill set. Skills are very much needed. It's not enough that we got the knowledge, and skills are very, very important. And the UPSC says the certain skills are required. So I'm going to show you here a skill. Earlier in the high jump, people are going to run and jump. People are running and jump over the bar. But they can jump only how much? They may jump up to 5 feet only. Maybe 5, 3, 5, 7. That's the way. But one person called Fosbury, this man ran and he turned back and jumped. You can see here how he's jumping. So this is the way how he jumped from the back. And he created almost 7 feet, almost some 3 inches. So it's very difficult even to jump on 4.5 feet, 4 feet and 6 inches. But this man jumped for over 7 feet and some 3 inches, and he created the record. How did he able to do it? Because skill. He learned the skill. Everybody jumps from the front, but he jumps from the back. It's the skill he acquired. Skills are very much required. That's why skills the UPSC demands. What are the skills the UPSC says? You must acquire the skills. What are the skills? It demands is mental alertness. You must have the mental alertness. Means what? You have to read between the lines. You must develop that skill. Number 2, critical power of assimilation. Whatever you are going to read, you must assimilate the essence of that thing. Number 3, clear and logical exposition. Whatever you want to say or write, it must be clear and logical. Number 4, balance of judgment. You must have a clear judgment, right? Then variety and depth of interest. You have to have wider interest in the subjects. Different subjects are to be learned. Okay, these are the skills you have to acquire according to the UPSC. 6, ability for social cohesion. In the sense, you cannot live in your own cubholes. You must come out and mingle with the society. You must have the social interaction. That's called social cohesion, is very, very important. Then leadership qualities. You have to develop leadership qualities. Number 8, intellectual and moral integrity. You must have the honesty, thorough honesty, called integrity. Called intellectual and moral integrity is very much required. Number 9, comprehensiveness. Whatever you are going to learn, you must learn with what? Completeness. That's called the completeness. Then you must have the originality of thinking. Your thinking should be original. Got it? And you must have innovativeness. Innovative in the sense you must come with new ideas. So these are the skills UPSC prescribed. It says, you got the skills? Come, we are going to take you. So when the UPSC says that these are the skills you have to learn, we have to learn, isn't it? No other option for us. We have to learn those skills. But these are very, very important skills. They are very useful to you, not only for the civil services, for any service they are very, very important. For any job, corporate or government, these skills are very, very crucial to acquire. Okay, so apart from the skills, we would like to tell you some more skills are required. What are those skills? Planning of career. So you're all coming from different spheres of activity, but you may not be aware as to how you are going to put your career in the right planning. So we are going to give you how to plan your career. So we are here, the people here, like sir here, they are going to tell you how you have to develop your career prospects. Okay? Number 2, planning of circumstances. Some people who got a lot of zeal towards civil services, but they are very poor. For such people, we have a plan. We are going to get some sponsors to you. If you get a friend who cannot afford to pay the fees, we would like to see sponsors are there. They are going to sponsor you. And we will tell you how to plan your circumstances. The people who are job holders, they may work in small jobs. Such people have to be guided properly as to how they have to lead from the challenges, different challenges they may be facing. We'll tell you how to overcome the challenges, because we people with a lot of experiences will give a piece of advice to you. Then we'll give the plan of attempts. So 6 attempts. So people, they want to taste how the civil services are. Don't waste even one attempt. Once you take an attempt, means what? You are going to hit the bull. Never ever think that how can I fair in civil service. No. If you are throwing your hat into the ring, you must hit it with the gun. So every attempt should be taken with a lot of what? Commitment. That we are going to tell you how the attempts are to be planned. We are going to tell you how to plan the time. Time management is very crucial, and we'll tell you how this rare resource is to be utilized. Then planning of approach. Approach means how you have to take things. That we are going to tell you, and this is very, very crucial. More important, very, very important thing is called the strategy. We are going to tell you the strategies, different strategies we are going to follow. The strategies we never heard of. The strategies which are going to give the result, we are going to create those things. One strategy I'm going to share with you here. Now, do you know the marks of these people? Now, this is very important. For the sake of not putting embarrassment to the candidates, I'm not giving the names. Okay, but here you see the main marks. The boy got 818. In PT, the profession that's called the personality test, he got 204. Very, very high marks. Total comes to 1022, got 16th rank. Whereas the boy got 819, 1 mark more than the other boy, But in the PT, he got 135. As a result, 954. And he got 315th rank. You see the difference. 16 means what? You will be honored by the Ministry of Home Affairs. That's called DOPT, Mr. The people invite you up to 25th ranks, maybe 30 or so. So they will invite you, they honor you, and you will get more or less your state cadets. But 315, where will he stand? Where is the guarantee he gets even IPS or IRS? He didn't get even IRS also. And do you know, very surprising thing, you see, I put a flower, 954, cutoff mark is 953. He escaped by 1 mark. Though he got 819, this boy escaped by only 1 mark. I will show you. These are the marks of one boy who got how many marks? 953. Not recommended. The boy got 954, got the service. Boy got 953, not recommended. So here, another important aspect. 805 written, PT 193, 804, just 1 mark less, got 118. You see the ranks, 34th rank and 492 ranks. The difference, because this boy belongs to one social category, he is getting the service. Otherwise, what is the cutoff rank? 316, that is the cutoff. Okay, so cutoff is 953 marks. Here, the boy, 492 rank means there is no chance to get into the civil services. He gets into civil service because of the social category. Maybe OBC, EWS, vagera, vagera. So I will tell you one sad story here, because we interviewed both the girls and the boy and the girl. So the boy got 747 marks. 747 marks. Okay, so he got 165 in the PT, and he got total 912. He got 564 rank. Where the girl got 755, more than this boy. Whereas she got 132 in the PT, and she didn't get even service. What do I mean by? So after analyzing all these things, one thing is very, very clear. Your PT is going to make or break your services. Your PT is going to make or break your services. Most of the boys and girls, they think of PT, personality test, after completion of the mains. So once they clear the mains, then they rush to certain institutes. Sir, teach us how to face the interview. Then how can we make these people? So these are two of our people only. But one person got 132, one person got 165. Some of our students, they got to 203, 204, like that. One thing to remember, that the PT preparation is a special effort you have to make. It is just not like that putting some makeup, some hairstyle, some dresses, how to give shake hand, how to stand, all these things will not go. Your personality and character will not come just like that. It is to be nurtured like a small plant is to be brought from beginning. So day one, when you start here, once this entire thing is now formed, we are going to bring a lot of changes. We are going to have the strategy of introducing personality test right from the beginning itself. And every Saturday, you are going to have a test, full-fledged test. After the test is completed, then you are going to have skilling Saturdays, where we are going to bring all such skills, different skills. Writing, communication, then you are going to have group discussions. All these things are going to be taken care by bringing a change into your attitudes and your writing skills and communication skills, personality. All these things will be taken in this particular institute. We are now going to make arrangements to see that you will be transformed in a period of 11 months, what we have promised. Okay? Now, one skill what we would like to give importance to reading. People say, what is there, sir? Reading is reading, that's it. So give a book that fellow can read. That is not reading. You are just now flipping the pages. You don't gain anything. What is to be done? So in the reading, it's not just like say flipping the pages. You have to, reading got three important elements. Number one is called reading what a text says, reading what the text does, reading what the text means. So there are three aspects. We are going to tell you what exactly you have to read from the book and how to gain out of reading the book. This is a skill which we are going to teach here in this institute. Okay? Now, thinking. Another important skill is thinking. So, thinking is very, very important. We'll tell you how to think, what not to think. So, those things will be there. And we are going to make you to go for the proper positive thinkings, not the negative aspects. The third is called the meeting. What do we mean by meeting? We will encourage you to go for meeting the success, called the winners and the people who made success. We got large number of bureaucrats here. We will make some trips to those bureaucrats. You can see them, how they are leading their life. So you can have interaction with those people. With their permission, we are going to put you there so that you can understand what importance you also can play, what type of role you can play, what type of roles they are playing, everything you are going to gain from these people by meeting the people. So we are going to arrange such meetings and we are going to have interaction. Number 4 is called listening. So listening is a very crucial skill you have to do. So most of the people, they are not good listeners. They listen and leave it. With one ear they listen, the other ear they leave it. So listening is a very crucial skill for bureaucracy. We got so many IAS officers. I worked with so many IAS officers. But we remember one great officer, Mr. Hariharan, is known for listening skills. You go to that person, he puts everything aside, listen to you carefully into your eye. Suppose 10 minutes. He listened to you for almost 8.5 minutes. With 1 minute, he is going to sum up whatever you have told. Within 30 seconds, he will give the solution for that. Great officer. Listening is a very crucial role for civil services. We will make you how to listen to the lectures and the ideas of others. Then debating. We are going to have group discussions here. You are going to debate on a particular issue, arrive at the solution. So debates are very, very important. It's not the disputes. We are encouraging debates. Okay? So you are going to discuss, and this we are going to introduce here. We will ask you to come over here, give a presentation, and other people are going to ask questions. This is the way how the debate goes. Then drilling. Another important aspect is called the drilling. Drilling means what? We are going to ask you to read it, write it so many times. So you are going to retain your whatever you are going to read in your brain. So we use certain NLP techniques to see that you are going to remember whatever is being discussed here. So I will practice them and I will see that you are going to remember whatever you are going to learn here. Okay? So writing. The success of civil services is writing, and writing. No other solution for this. So we will make you to write every day, every week, every month, every quarter. So writing is a very, very important component we are going to introduce at every day. So we make you to write more. Okay, so learning. So this is a very, very important aspect, learning. Ultimately, you have to assess yourself as to how much you have learned. For that, what we do is, at the beginning itself, we are going to give the list of topics which we are going to teach here. At the end of the course, you are going to see whether all are covered or not, in a proper perspective or not, whether you are given proper opportunity to learn on those things or not. So learning is ultimately the basic aspect which we are going to put here in this institute. Okay, so learning is very crucial. So reading, thinking, meeting, listening, then debating, drilling, writing, and learning. So these are the skills which we are going to give to you in this particular institute. Now, very, very crucial aspect I'm going to talk to you. This is about the mindset, which I cannot give to you. Mindset, you have to develop by yourself. So tools I may give, skills I may teach you, but mindset is to be developed by yourself. We cannot purchase a mindset from the market and give to you. Oh, adopt this as your mindset. No. Mindset is the attitude you have to develop yourself. Now, what is the attitude we are going to remind you to develop here? Number one is called the change in the mindset. We would like to see the mindset is being changed. Do you know the person who, this person created history in 1954? Roger Bannister. Roger Bannister ran the mile within 4 minutes. Up to now, there was the mindset that the mile cannot be run within 4 minutes. If you run the mile, your heart will come out and you will die. But this man ran the mile within 4 minutes. Within 6 months, John Landy, another person, ran the mile. Within 1 year, 250 people ran the mile within 4 minutes. Means one man should break the hurdle, others can follow it. So, if one man can do, others can do it. We have seen so many poor people breaking the records and becoming the winners and the toppers. Why not you? You also can do it. We are going to bring so many people who are the winners, who are the people from the rags to the riches. Such people are going to come and have interaction with you. So the attitudinal change is very important, and we are going to bring the toppers and the people who got the achievers who are going to come and share their success stories to bring a change. As I told you, some of the people who are the children of the rickshaw pullers, sons of the posters, some of the people who are working at the very low levels of these things, who are born to the very poor people, such people achieve success. Why not you? So friends, remember, you must develop an attitude called ever-learning attitude. We are going to give importance to this very important aspect. Every day, you must learn something which is very, very useful to you and to your civil services. This ever-learning attitude, which is known as, in Japan, it's called the Kaizen. Kaizen means what? Change good. Kaizen means continuous never-ending improvement. Japanese, in 1945, you know pretty well, it was reduced to ashes. Within 5 years, it came up, revived, bounced back because of the philosophy known as Kaizen philosophy. So we are going to introduce this type of learning here, where we are going to learn every day something new from each and every point of view. And this attitude, ever-learning attitude, is very, very important. How can you know that I learned this? Then whatever we are going to teach here, you have to write. You have to develop the habit of writing. You see here, sir is sitting and writing everything I'm just giving. But some of you just watch. Some of you choose is selective. This presentation, I worked for months together. It's not just like it has come out like this. So whatever we are going to discuss here, you have to write and see whether I got this yesterday, what is that I have gained today, compare and see what is that I have learned. It's by writing whatever you are listening in the class, what is shown on the screen. Today, I allowed all the people to take pictures. But when the classes start, nobody is allowed to take pictures. They have to write. When you take a picture, you have no interest at all to see the second time. And what you do, simply you send it to some XYZ, who are useless guys. So whatever knowledge we are giving here, that will be, you have to write. Write whatever you want to write, but no pictures with the permission of the faculty. because these are the intellectual properties which we are giving. And just you take and say, just send like that means what? It has no meaning at all. Value, when the gold is scarce, it gets value. When the sand is more, it gets no value. That's the reason the knowledge which you are going to gain here, that should be written on the piece of paper. That's why you must come with beautiful bound books. Don't come with a small piece of papers to write these things. You must maintain bound books. I will show you how I maintain the bound books. Because these books are very, very valuable. I purchased the costliest book to write. Why? Because this book is a great investment for me for years together. And my children look at, oh, my father wrote these things very nicely. Bound book. They also give a lot of importance. When you write in a very valuable book means what? Value things you are going to write. If you write a cheap book means what? That's also cheaper. So that's why my rule for all of you, when the course starts, you must purchase the costliest book as your writing book. Okay? So don't come with the cheap books. We may be poor, but our thinking is not poor. Your small business should not make you small. You understand this? You may be born poor, but we can purchase. So can't you purchase a 200 rupees worth of book, bound book? There you can write 300 pages. There you can write these things. When you bring the bound book, people will look at, oh, bound book means very valuable book. If you write in a small tokabukus, nothing, that will not be cared by anybody else, right? So, ever learning attitude is very important. Number 2, going an extra mile. What do we mean by going an extra mile? It is not enough that you see only the syllabus given by the UPSC. You must go beyond the syllabus given by the UPSC. If you want to become a gem, going the extra mile means gem, becoming a gem. Gems are being valuable. Stones will not be required by anybody. Gems are required. Gem means what? Going an extra mile. That means you must read more than what is given in the classroom. We are going to give some homework to you to work at home and come here. Not that you are coming here, you are going to write. You have to do a lot of work. These sessions will be limited here, but your work is more. Double the time you have to work at their home so that the entire thing can be absorbed. Right? So, here Steve Jobs says, if you don't love something, you are not going to go the extra mile, work the extra weekend, challenge the status quo as much. This man became such a great person because he went an extra mile all the time. So friends, don't ever limit yourself to whatever given here. So most of the people say, oh, this institute gives this much, that gives this much, oh, this many notes. That is not. You have to do on your own. You must go an extra mile. We'll make you how to go an extra mile during the class times. Number 3, burning desire. Once you join the institute, the day you join, you must have the extra, that's called the burning desire to get into the civil services. Now or never should be the attitude like Gandhi. So you must do or die. That's the situation. That means you must always go with the attitude that I'm going to get into the civil services right in the first attempt itself. Though we got 6 chances, but first attempt is the best attempt. So if you have the burning desire like that, then you can do it. So the desire should be burning in your sinew. Each and every cell of yours should burn with the desire that I must get success in civil services. You see here, there is a beautiful story by Socrates. One young man went and asked Socrates, "Sir, tell us, how can I get success?" And he said, "Okay, young man, come tomorrow morning to the riverside because I got the habit of walking." So he went there and he took the boy to the river and put him in the water, and he was watching how many minutes were there. So after 2.5 minutes, he was brought out of the water and said, "Now, while you were under the water, what was the most important ingredient you want to take? What is it you want most while you are under the water?" He said, "Air, sir. Air. If you have the same desire to get the success, you will get it." Success is not easy. You must have the type of focus, burning desire on that thing, then you get the success. This is what he said. 11 lakh people may be applying, but if you have that burning desire, you will get your share. Today, this batch, 1,000, next batch may be more. So you can get into the civil services and IAS if you have the burning desire, just like what Socrates said. Number 4, focus on strengths. Always remember, everybody is born with the strengths. Mother Nature is kind enough to give it the strength. All the thing is, we must understand where lies my strength. My strength is my writing. My strength is my thinking. My strength is my analysis. My strength is my creativity. So I got a lot of strengths. I may be having certain weaknesses, but always see where are my strengths. This is very, very important. I have to focus there where my strengths are there. Okay? So always see the strengths, weaknesses, and the opportunities, threats. They call the SWOT analysis you can make, and see, focus on your strength, convert your weaknesses into strengths, and see your opportunities and avoid your threats. That's the way how you are going to get success in your life, right? Number 5, confidence. Very, very crucial thing is called confidence in you. It is not the institute that is going to give the confidence to you. It is you who is going to give confidence to yourself. Thereby you can achieve success. Always remember, a person without confidence cannot jump from one level to the other level. It comes by the risk-taking attitude and the confidence. Very, very crucial. Number 6, discipline. Discipline, self-discipline is the key to success. Means when we give the time, means time. We never ever wait for you to come here. If you give 10 o'clock, means 10 o'clock. Of course, this because of rain and some beginning issues, but we go by the timings. We never ever go by 1 minute late. And we give importance to the time. Discipline is very, very important for us. That's the reason we are here. Otherwise, we might have ended somewhere else. So the self-discipline is very important for you to get into the civil services. Number 7, perseverance. Perseverance, remember here, perseverance, continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. Always remember, you have to persevere to achieve your goal. Your goal of civil service is like climbing the hill without any support. If you have the perseverance, you are going to get the success. I'm going to show you here one great lady, Nupur Goyal, got 11th rank in the 6th attempt. 5 attempts, she was not successful like Sahitya, just I told you. So, she got 11th rank, says persistence and patience helped her to get into the civil services. So, perseverance is very, very important to get into the civil services. That is the skill which you have to, that's the attitude you have to develop by yourself, and will help you to do that. Okay? The last one, even if you forget whatever I have given to you, but don't forget this. What is that? Be unkind to be kind. What do you mean by this? Be unkind to be kind. I will tell you with the help of a story. You see here, this is the giraffe, 20 feet tall animal. You know, up to waist it is almost 10 feet high. From neck to almost the head is almost another 10 feet. 20 feet tall animal, beautiful animal. Do you know how it gives birth to a child? It gives birth to a child by standing. You see here, the standing gives birth to the child. Now what happens after that? The child falls from almost 10 feet height. If you see a mother falling from 1 feet, so the bed, and the child falls here, the child says, Lot of cry. He cries loudly. Mother goes, grabs the child, put it on the bosom, and shows so many lullabies. Mother gives so much comfort to the child. After maybe half an hour, maybe 1 hour, that child may be very happy. But now, what happens here? When the child is on the ground, mother goes back to the child and stretches its leg very long and gives a big kick on the back of the child. The child doesn't know why mother is giving such a kick. The child wants to get up, but again falls on the ground. Mother goes back and stretches the leg and gives another kick on the back of the child. It goes on kicking the child till it stands on its own feet. Once it stands on its own feet, the mother takes the child and fondles the child. Now tell me, why mother behaves like that? Is it the act of hate or act of love? Is it act of hate or act of love? It is act of love. Why? In a jungle like this, when the child is on the ground, small predators, they come and eat the child. In order to see that the child survives, the only way is to kick the child and ask the child to stand up, because the mother cannot carry the child. Isn't it? That's what the only way to see that the child survives in the jungle, it kicks the child. It's the act of love. It's the act of love. Friends, we are here just like that. We are not going to see and fondle and say goodbye all the time. So we are also sometimes critical towards you in your own interests. You must also behave like that. You must wake up. At what time generally you wake up? So how many are waking up at 5 o'clock? So 2 hands, 3 hands. So I wake up at 4:30 minimum, 4:30. So why do we wake up at 4:30? That's the Brahma Muhurta. That's a very good time. That is the time when you get very good sleep also. Got it? The point here is, you must be kind towards yourself. You must be unkind to be kind towards yourself. We'll also ask you to go for good dressing. I don't allow people to come with ordinary shirts like that. You are coming for civil services and you may have behave like a civil service. You are in the process. You are the progress of civil servant. You must come with a good dress. Doesn't mean that you must come with a suit. You must come with a neat dress. No t-shirts business. You must come with full hands. You must come with as an officer like to the class itself, because you are in the process of officering. You understand this? We don't allow people to come casually and sit with a 3/4 or 1/4 like that. We never allow such things, because we want to see that you are the officers and you must transform yourself into officers. So for that we must be unkind to be kind towards yourself. We must also have interaction with your parents, not only with you. Always remember this. We are going to give the progress to your parents, and we are going to take feedback from them also. And we give our feedback. Thereby we are going to partnering with your parents, so that we are going to take care of you properly. Understand, if you don't come to the class, immediately we are going to give a call or a message to your parents that your child is not present today. Why? Because it is a responsibility of our institute. We don't want to see, okay, whether you come or not, you paid the fees, we are happy. No, that is not the business of ours. We want to see genuinely your welfare. We are unkind to be kind in the future. So I'm going to say many things as unkind to be kind in the future, because it is needed. It is needed, and we want to bring discipline among such people. But unless we practice these things, you cannot come into a different shape. So that's what we would like to practice here, right? So the attitudes which are required called ever-learning attitude, going an extra mile, burning desire, focus on strengths, then confidence, discipline, perseverance, and be unkind to be kind. These are the attitudes which are very, very important to get into the civil services. Friends, how can we get into the civil services? So I told you, you can get into the civil service by mindset, skill set, and the tool set. Mindset is yours. Skill set, we are going to make you to do that. And the tool set is what we are going to provide ourselves and our parents, like that. So friends, to sum up the presentation, what we have started here, these are the three important aspects I started with. What are they? How do the civil services take care of the holistic education, professional employment, and purposeful life? I told you three important personalities, what they did. And civil services want to bring the three into the educational aspect. And our institute is going to take care of the three important aspects. We want to go for holistic education, professional employment, and at the same time, the purposeful life. These are the three important aspects which are going to provide to you so that you suit yourself to the civil services. Got the point? Number two, how do the civil services answer three vital questions or decisions that young men or women should consider and take in life? Three important decisions. What are they? One is called, how are you going to make a living? Whom are you going to select to be the father or mother of your children? How are you going to make a life, meaningful life, purposeful life? So the three aspects we are going to take care of in this particular institute. Three, what type of tool set, skill set, and the mindset are needed for anyone to get into the most coveted civil services? We have already analyzed 8, 8, 8. So 8 tools, 8 skills, and 8 types of the mindsets. Right? Friends, remember here, I end with Dale Carnegie here. Dale Carnegie, as I told you, is my guru. He said very important observation. Our problem is not ignorance, but inaction. What do you mean by this? This comes as a question in the essay. You are going to write an essay on this particular topic. Our problem is not ignorance, but inaction. What do you mean by this? So I gave some inputs to you. Some of the inputs you are aware. Not that you are going to learn these things afresh. But the issue is action. That's very important. People who take action, they get into the civil services or any services. But if you listen just and leave them, if you are inactive as far as these things are concerned, then where is this? Where is the success? So most of the people know the things, but take no action. Here we would like to make you action-oriented, friends. We promise that we are going to make you action-oriented. It is not our job to see and give some knowledge and leave it. No. We want to see that you are going to become action-oriented every day. Every day. This is the promise we are going to commit here. Remember, friends, forget the world for 3 years. So I'm giving a optimum time to you. Forget the world for 3 years. The world would remember you for 30 and more years. If you want to remember the world now, the world will forget you within 3 seconds. This is a very, very crucial decision you have to take in your life. In a span of 100 years, 3 years, you have to prepare for civil services. Civil services, you have to prepare not for the job only, but for the personality and the character which you are going to evolve yourself. As I told you, the holistic education, the professional employment, and at the same time purposeful life, all three are very, very important for civil services. And we are going to make like that. Got it? So 3 years, though we say 1 year, but the entire process of civil service takes 2.5 years. 1 year you have to prepare. Your results will come in 2024. Remember that. So you are writing your prelim in 2023, and the result will come in the year 2014, the 24. Understand? So at least 2 to 3 years, if you can give this much time, we promise that you are going to be remembered by the world by 30 and more years. But if you are caring for only small things, Or today rain is coming, so why should I go to the institute? Today I'm coughing, so why should I go? No. You must commit yourself. Remember and pay attention towards this thing. So friends, forget the world for 3 years. The world will remember you for 30 and more years. Remember the world every day. The world will forget you within 3 seconds. So think about, you want to be remembered by the world for 30 and more years? Or you want to be just forgotten within seconds? Decision is yours. This is what civil service all is meant for. And think about that you are going to create an entity for yourself and make your parents feel proud and make the country feel proud. This is what we would like to share with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.